Hello all together. Let me personally welcome you to our Absen Spring event. So my part is to introduce to you the LED technology development and the Absen Product Portfolio. So let us not waste time, just jump into my presentation. So what I'm speaking about, it's the new trends in LED display technology. It's the Absen technology portfolio, and it's also the Absen product portfolio. So the new trends in the display technology are very much guided by the different LEDs or the different coating and encapsulation which is nowadays available. But first of all, as you might see in the left-hand side already, it's driven by getting a small and smaller pixel pitch, as mini and micro LED display would guide you to this idea, hopefully. But so to be more precise, besides that we speak about the mini and micro LED technology as a different package of our LED, we jumped a little bit down the road from 2.0 or 2.5 millimeter pixel pitch to 1.8, 1.5 or even 1.2. Where the middle part, let's say 1.5, seems to be nowadays getting more and more mature, definitely, but also more and more the standard. So then we do speak about technologies like IMD, COB and MIP. For those which may ask yourself, what is MIP? It's the micro LED in package. So this is the short for the MIP. And you can, or those technologies in LED make it possible that the LED industry by itself is looking into a bright future. So as you can see, in the next 3 years, we expect $12 billion being reached by time. So other trends or other technologies which are in the market, you can see on this slide. I've already spoken about SMD, IMD, COB and the MIP, but what I would like you to pay attention for is that that from SMD and then jumping to IMD as an upgrade of SMD, the next step is indeed a bigger step. So IMD to COB is that we need to speak about a different production procedure. So at the first two ones you can see on the slide, we speak about the SMT production procedure, where for the other two ones, COB and micro LED, it's a surface coating, and it's a coating which is all over the PCB board. And that means instead of SMT, which with single LEDs being placed on the PCB, we do have a kind of complete SMD being placed onto the LED product finally. And that make the supply chain change, and that is a bigger step in the whole industry. What you can also see on left-hand side with this diagram is that for mini LED, but as well for micro LED, we get in a mixture of different technologies. So, for example, if you have a look at our CL series, so the clear cobalt, there you see that we combine flipChip, for example, with the COB. But at the same time, for those which not yet know, the flipChip, sorry, it's not exclusively for the COB. It's also coming up for an IMD, where later on I give you an indication for that as well. But then on right-hand side, you see that we speak about a lot of different technologies coming up, kind of competing against each other, but it's more kind of decision-making that need to be done. So there we have the N-in-1, which, for example, means the 4-in-1 versus the COB. We have then, as an additional step, the MIP. We have the common anode technology versus the common cathode technology. We speak about passive matrix driving versus active matrix driving for the driver ICs. We speak about the flip chip coming up and having the lateral chip. This is the mature, already existing SMD and wire bonding technology getting kind of improved. Then we do have the PCB versus glass, which will come up, and all of this, as you can see in the graph as well, guide us to smaller and smaller pixel pitch. So what else are the technologies to speak about? So it's the technology platforms, which we roughly divide in 3 sections. So it's the hardware design platform for the smaller and ultra-fine pixel pitches. We speak about the control platform for 8K UHD displays. And we also speak about the integrated application technology platform. So an example for the hardware are the smaller and smaller getting chips. An example for the control platform you can see underneath is the video processing as well as the control system combined with the software design and the integrated application. There it's kind of easy to speak about. There we speak about driver ICs. But not exclusively or only about that. It's also the electronic design of PCB boards, which then need to be adapted and work accordingly. So, kind of summarizing those points, we speak about the big point of high precision. As we need high precision in transfer and packaging technology for small chip, which is critical for the mini and micro-LED LED displays on productivity of that. High precision in detection and repair technology, which is critical for the yield. Then we speak about the fine drive and correction technology based on small current. Just remember, I've spoken about common cathode technology and flip chip. And both of them are the suitable technology to lower the power consumption and to have a lower, by the way, also lower heat dissipation and where we can reach more efficiency and higher brightness. So next is the high integration for the driving technology, for the packaging of materials, and also for the controlling technology. So a quite good example for that is again the driver IC and such as the 164 scan, which then provide up to 64 channels to make it high efficient and highly integrated, for example. Then we do have the high intelligence. So the image quality algorithm based on deep learning is kind of AI algorithm. Then the calibration algorithm based on multiple dimensional big data. And the interactive application based on user habits. The last one, for example, you can give you an imagination thinking about smart TV or smartphone, where we get guided by the user habits. To move on with the mini LED and micro LED, which I mentioned before, guide us to the bright future to make more business, is that we always add a new, let's say, feature, or we improve the display quality. So a high grayscale had been there with the conventional LED already, and I would add the high peak brightness, for example, to get a good HDR result. For the white color gamut, which is needed for HDR, we can add also ultra-wide viewing angle, so that the audience and depending on application, we can also step a little bit to the side of the LED screen and still enjoy the good picture quality. High frame rate and high refresh rate is needed for virtual production, for example, which is a trend in the market actually. And this guides me also to the topic of Murray effect if we speak in camera applications. And we do have a technology for that as well. And let's call it surface treatment, but also the micro LED and the COB technology. Again, have a look at our clear cobalt, support us to get a lower Murray effect. The high white performance or uniformity need also to be added by the black uniformity. Again, our clear cobalt you can have a look at. We use matte black surface, and this need to be measured, and there we also need to ensure that the black uniformity is as good as the white uniformity. So Absen technology portfolio. This is kind of summary of the technology which you have seen before. So there is for sure a reason that I've spoken about those technologies coming up, and I can give you the confidence that we work on all those topics. Otherwise, I wouldn't have mentioned them. But the most mature and the most interesting parts are still the microLED and the HDR and the other developments like virtual production technology, where the topics just mentioned of Moiré effect and high refresh rate and so on are not the only topics to be taken care of for the virtual production application specifically. So, and then also for the HDR, I mentioned that an algorithm is needed for, we work on within Absen to improve this algorithm as well, to get a good performance in dark picture areas and at the same at bright picture areas. This is an overview of LEDs and LEDs which we already do have in our portfolio. So you can see on the left-hand side the mini LED in the COB 1.2, where we also have the mini LED or the micro LED in the COB. You can see above as a kind of forecast that we are planning for micro LED going to 0.5 millimeter pixel pitch as well. Then we do have bottom left side, you can see a 1010 top SMD, so mature SMD technology, but with a high brightness version. And then in the middle part, you can see the mini LED IMD section, where you see that we have a 4-in-1 IMD for 0.7 millimeter pixel pitch, and the FC means flipChip, so the already energy saving and higher brightness solution of LED technology. Then we also have the 4-in-1 1.2 millimeter with a flipChip IMD, and you can see heading to, let me make the example of the top right, heading into the future of 23 and 24 is the micro LED COB 0.5 version 2. Okay, let me continue. I already mentioned in between that we have the HDR technology and that we are hardly working on. And in the picture example, you can see that right-hand side HDR that we already improve, and as I said, still working on that. In the dark picture areas we get more details, we get the scale, or in grayscale perspective we get more steps in the grayscale by technologies like dithering, but also the algorithm been working on, but which I've already mentioned. Then virtual production, as I said, high refresh rate is not the only one and only topic to speak about. There we need to speak about white color gamut as well. High frame rate means the input need to be available for that. Then a low delay and gen lock, 16-bit, so true 16-bit, let me add it in that way. HDR already mentioned, improvement in Moiré, and also very important topic is, and that is also an advantage of our CL series as an example, that the surface reflection get reduced, but we don't have it exclusively only for the CL. With its COB technology, we also have a solution for our VP products. So this guides me to speak about our Absen product portfolio. So what you can see, we have a very strict internal procedure to develop our products. So it's called IPD. So this process need to be followed. It have certain points where there is where we add the customer feedback as well, the customer demand, the market demand, and that should show you that we really pay attention for your needs, and also for sure pay attention that we get included at the right time the new technologies which I've just spoken about. We kind of make the segments of internally for our products into DOOH or OOH, so for the kind of outdoor fixed installation. We have the rental and staging market for its specific demand of frequent setting up and dismantle. We have the commercial displays for retail, for example, the data visualizations where a control room is an example, and the conference with our Absen Icon product, for example, to bring LED also in meeting and conference rooms. Here is a huge and rich overview about all those segments. As you can see vertically, OOH with the A series, so the product to speak about for our fixed installation outdoor, AW series for the small pixel pitch solution for outdoor fixed. Then we do have the GS and the AS, partly only available in Asia Pacific market. We do have the C series, it's a mesh product, A99 as a sports perimeter. But what you need to pay attention for are the news, but I will soon come to those points specifically. It's the PR series in the rental and staging. It's the NX series in the commercial display, and also the KL2 series within the commercial display. And last but definitely not least, we also by today have different sections to speak about is the home theater TV. Okay, so I already spoken about DOOH. So as you can see, we do have a premium, mainstream, and let's call it value section of our products, and then we sort them a little bit by applications, but for sure they are not exclusively just for those applications. I already mentioned or made all the examples for DOOH, so let me move on. So for the commercial displays, we do have our Acclaim or A27 series in a Pro and Plus version. We then come to our new product, which is the NX series, where we have a dimension, for example, for 960 millimeter by 540 millimeter, or the smaller one, which you can see on the left-hand side, is a 240 millimeter by 540 millimeter. The KL2 as the next new product, we speak about, for example, dimension of the panel of 640 by 360 millimeter. But right-hand side, I will never forget to speak about them as well, as the N Plus series is really a hot-selling product in our retail market segment. And KL series, sorry, not the 2, that will come up, and the K Plus series are good alternatives for that as well. So next segment to speak about is the rental and staging. We do have within the premium, and this is kind of designed and made for virtual production. It's our Pixel Reality or PR series. This will come up new, but also for that segment of virtual reality, I will have a different talk with you within this Absen Spring event. Then we do have the Area series, the Mars and the Venus. The VP give you the indication which are available for virtual production or XR applications as well, where the Venus series is a good product for touring as it is quite big. Then we have our mainstream, the Polaris, as a Pro and Plus version, the Jupiter as a mesh product within the rental and staging, where the Lyra or LR version, product series is also a mesh product. And because it happened several times, the JP series also has a 4.68 millimeter version, which isn't a mesh, which is do have a, let's say, closed surface. Then data visualization, we do have in the premium region, we have the CL, so the clear cobalt, which I mentioned several times, so there is a reason for it to speak about. And in this same segment, we will find soon our home theater TV, and then for the control room specifically designed is our high-level, high-quality series in that section of control rooms, which is the new HC series. Then, last but not least, I speak about the conference product portfolio, where we do have the Absen Icon 4.0 and or upcoming 4.0, and there we will add new features in comparison to the mainstream Absen Icon 3.0, and then the value range of that is the KL icon, and this is basically about our technology portfolio, and the same for the product portfolio. And please stay tuned for the other parts of our presentation, and don't hesitate to contact our sales teams, regional sales teams, to get more information.